All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. We had one trade today, break even. Unfortunately, it ended up playing out. Just was managing with my rules. Executions are right here. And yeah, let's get right into this. So coming into the day, I had a bearish bias. We had tons of draws lower. We had London low. We had Asia low. We had this big 4 hour gap. So I was still willing to trade long if we got an opportunity because we did have the new day opening gap high and we had previous day high. But coming into the day, we had this SMT off this high over here from yesterday's market open, 6 p.m. So that ended up sending price down. I really wanted to short pre-market. Again, I think I'm just going to start trading a separate account for pre-market trades or trading into market open because I know what's going to happen and I just have set the rule for myself not to trade market open. So I think I'm just going to open or use one of my other accounts because I wanted to take this entry right here at 925. And obviously I would have caught the entire move down. I would have targeted Asia low. That was my idea. Sort of caught like 100 points with a mini. Yeah, would have been banked. But regardless, from there, market opens up and starts dumping down. Now, I wanted to short this candle right here at 932. Problem was we were so close to Asia low. I wanted like a 1-to-1 range. And from there, if I did take this, I would have ran my stop like probably here or here, and then I would have been targeting at least a 1-to-1. So it probably would have hit, but again, once we tapped the gap, I would have gone break even. So I might most likely would have gotten break even on that trade anyway. From there, price. I was keeping an eye on this 930 candle in case we did want to reverse, but at this point, price came back and tapped into this 3 minute gap. So I was still looking because at this point we still had 4 hour CE as a draw on liquidity down here. And on top of that, what I liked was that ES still had draws lower because ES still had, or it had taken out London and Asia, but it still had draws lower, and NQ still had draws lower. We still had, like I said, 4 hour CE. ES hadn't tapped the 4 hour at that point, I believe. We had this AM low, so I figured that we like highly wanted to, pull back a little bit deeper into the gap. Now, normally I don't like shorting in a bullish gap, but this is what, I'll catch trades like this a lot to CE and they end up working. So price wicks into this 3 minute. And what I noticed was we had this small SMT. As you could see, NQ puts in a higher high. ES, well, I don't have it marked out, but ES put in a lower high on those small highs right there, whatever. So we had this SMT. So at this point, I was like, okay, we're delivering off a 3 minute gap. We have 4 hour CE as a target. ES still has draws lower. We have a small SMT. And then I seen this 1 minute inversion entry, very small inversion. It wasn't really the inversion why I entered. It was the displacement candle on the 1 minute. So I took this entry right here at 940, had my stop just above that wick right there. And I was targeting 1 TP at 4 hour CE. So I almost got stopped out. Luckily, I didn't. And then price ended up taking out this internal low, and that's where I went break even. Now, the reason I wanted to just hold this and just let it play out because I was very confident in it, but at this point, you have to understand we're trading in a higher time frame bullish gap. We just took out the internal draw after chopping for multiple minutes. There's a high probability that price could easily want to just manipulate up at this point. Like it just could happen and fake us all out and then continue back down. So I went break even here. I got stopped out break even, obviously, and it ended up delivering. Even if I went break even here, I would have gotten taken out anyway. So ended up delivering later. And obviously from there, we just kept dumping. And I just didn't get any entries I wanted. I wanted to short. I think there was, I think we pulled back into this 1 minute right here. But again, I didn't really want to short this 1 minute. And then we ended up just dumping again. No entries here. I didn't want to just FOMO in. There was an opportunity for longs right here. Again, I just kind of hesitated, didn't take it because we had dumped so much. We were consolidating. It was a bit weird. I believe we had a 30-second inversion, but what I liked right here was this 2 minute like CISD. This 2 minute close right here, you could have ran that. And then even if you just went for like a 1-to-1 or you targeted anywhere in here, 2-to-1, 1-to-1, whatever, you would have hit that. But again, I just didn't like how price was chopping around. I don't know. I really wasn't a fan of it. And I usually prefer the 3 minute. But the 3 minute kind of just took off, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just fade this. And keep in mind at this time, it was already like past 10:30, and we had just been dumping for so long, I didn't want to try to just catch a random reversal. So this was my one trade, one break even today. Can't really complain about it. I thought this was a good trade. Not like the greatest because, again, we are trading in a higher time frame bullish gap, but we did have a target there. ES had draws lower. Mechanically, this was a setup that I will take majority of the time. But yeah, break even for me, go break even at these internal lows. And yeah, that was it for me. So No, no, nothing else other than that. Again, I did like this long over here, but again, just after we dumped so long, I didn't really want to force a reversal, and I just didn't get any entries I wanted otherwise, which sucks. But again, I wanted Asia low, London low, and I wanted this 4-hour C as my main draws. And then after we start displacing through that, I was looking to target that AM low, which was like right here. But again, we just kind of ran through it. I got no entry. So it is what it is. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully, catch something good. And that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.